my good people, so today I will be talking about God of War on the PlayStation 4. I played this game during the holiday break and I finished it 100%. I don't know how many hours I spent, that's too bad it doesn't show the numbers of hours you played on this game, or at least I don't know how to see it. Well, anyhow, I think I spent maybe at least I guess 60 hours, 60 to 80 hours, because I really wanted to finish everything. And this is my copy of this game. So I'm sure you're wondering, what is this box? What is this hardcover? Actually, it is the PlayStation hit that I got. So the original hardcover is this, and I think it's a cool art, but with the PlayStation hits here, I think it looks pretty much like a $10 game, and that's exactly how much you should pay right now in 2021, and that's an amazing value, by the way. But anyhow, if you flip this art cover inside, there's this other art. I think that's pretty cool, so that's why I just decided to flip it. Anyhow, so I will be talking about my opinion on this game real quick. It's not like a review to this game. If you're looking for a review, this is not the video for you, and there are a bunch of other YouTubers that have already talked about this game. I mainly focus on the hit and miss, and especially what could have been improved to make this game even better. If you have played the game till the end, or if at least you have played the game a lot of hours, you will probably see exactly what I mean, and maybe you will enjoy it, and you can let me know if you agree with what I think, or if you just disagree, and also if there were other points that I haven't mentioned or haven't thought about that you would have improved, or things that you think that are miss on this game. So I hope you enjoy it. This game is beautiful. So just look at these graphics. So this one is one of my favorite. When you arrive in this realm, you see this kind of ring and all this light. So the whole game has beautiful graphics. You're in awe all the time. An amazing job was done on this. The animation is fantastic. Controls are great. It's really a game you enjoy playing it right away. And there is something that they did a stunning job as well. It's the music. And for the music, I watched this documentary about the game. It's called Raising Kratos. You can see on the screen the link to this YouTube video that shows it on the PlayStation Network. I really recommend any of you who like this game to look at this video, this documentary. It's a little bit more than an hour, but it's totally worth it. It adds the enjoyment you can have playing this game, because you understand things a little bit better, how they did such and such, why. And for me, I really loved it. First I was like, an hour documentary, I'm not too sure, but I was totally in it. It made me enjoy the game even better.
Wow. Never been this close to the mountain before.
This game takes about, I would say 30 hours to finish the main story. When I say 30 hours, I'm sure that if you think about speedrunners or guys who go super fast, it would be more like 20, but on my end, I like to take my time, go look around, so I would say about 30 hours to do the main story. But when you're done with the main story, it's like if you've only done, I don't know, like 30%, maximum 40% of the game, and you have all these side quests, goals that you can do, and you can see in the option menu what can be done. There's a lot of things to discover, some area of the game that you haven't seen yet, and other things really to finish each goal, like kill all these birds. It can take forever, and if it's the case, I would say it add another 30 hours to the game. So to have like a real 100% and kill all the Valkyries, it's the main enemies that are super difficult. The last one, it would be about 60 hours, I would say.
Oh yeah! This is great!
And there's one thing, the fight scenes, the fights are crazy. You can see sometimes some really aggressive time, how gruesome it is, especially when you finish an enemy. It's really a Mortal Kombat style. I mean, I love it, and the sound they put into it, that's crazy. So when you play this game, you will see that there's almost no one alive. I mean, everybody is dead. You only see cadavers here and there, except for these few guys. It's kind of at the beginning of the game, so there's like I don't know if it's like six of them, 5-6 of them, and I think that's it. After you have killed these guys, you don't see any other ones through the whole game. So that's one of the things that I think that it's kind of a little bit, I don't know if it's stupid or what, but there's no one in this game, no one alive. So, and you will see the only little village that you will find is here. It's not too far after we saw these first 5 guys. It's at the really beginning of the game. So we see this village. Obviously something happened terrible. Everybody was killed. The homes burned, and that's it. You are not gonna see another village or any living human through the whole game. So I think that that's too bad, but I have to say that I saw the documentary about how they made the game, interviews, and I totally get it that they were kind of under a time crunch, and at some point they had to finish the game, so I'm sure they had to take some shortcuts, and they may have not done everything that they wanted to do, but still, I just wanted to mention it, that after this first encounter with some human enemies and this village, it's over. And a little bit later, we will see that we have like these guys that have. Let me see, is there more here?
You want solitude?
Yeah, I forgot these guys. Okay. So there are a few more guys in the village that I forgot in this tiny village. Okay, the next human you would see is I don't know if it's a human, but it's Freya, the witch, and she used to be a goddess, it seems to be. But that's the next one you will see, and that, I mean, so far for now she's a human and not a goddess anymore. Because at the very beginning of the game, you were fighting Baldur, and later on you will see that he's related to Freya. But I don't tell much more for now, especially if you haven't played the whole game yet. Another point is that for all the dwarfs, you have like the 2 dwarfs. So basically they help you, they have a blacksmith, they help you to improve your armor, your swords, and you see these guys always busy doing something, but I don't know who they are busy for, because there's no one, absolutely no one, except you, are their main and only customer. So I don't know what they're doing and what they keep being all around. Obviously, it's a video game. I totally get it, but it's kind of funny that they just work for you. I wish we could have had seen a few guys, even if you didn't interact with them, but at least you see some kind of human or some kind of some life somewhere, a little bit, but there is none. So here it's the first time you meet one of the two dwarfs. This one's name is Brock. The two dwarfs are brother. One is Brock and the other one is Siri. So the one has a blue face that looks a little bit dirty, that's Brock. And the next one is, that you will see a little bit later, is Siri. So you saw at the very beginning of the game, you see that Brock has some kind of dinosaur, whatever, ride that helps him to carry all his material, all his blacksmith material. That's interesting to see because it's only at the beginning. You will see this animal maybe 2 times later on, and then it's totally gone. I wish that they would have kept it. Because obviously you know that it's the way he would move all his materials all around from one location to another location, because later on in the game you see that Brock has his shop a little bit everywhere and it's like busy. But there's no more animal. Like, how did he bring all of that things? Is he just like is he more than a blacksmith, like a magician? He can teleport himself and all his materials? Because there's some crazy situation, like you cannot have access to it. I will show you in a little moment.
You are right. I do not believe you. Come, boy.
So here it's the first camp that Brock, the first campman that you see from Brock, and you see the animal is still in the back. And now that's the second encounter. And you can see Atreus is asking Brock how he got there. Good question. But to the left, his animal is still here. So obviously he could have still helped him carry all his material. And he's opening the door to show his little new pop-up shop, I would say. And yeah, that's pretty impressive. See? How did you bring all of that? Or was it already here? Let's say it was already here. But anyhow, so you see for this second shop, his animal was still with him, and that's the last time you will see his animal from the game. And the next encounter would be with his brother, Siri. So I was talking how crazy it was to see some of the dwarf's shop. So you see here, I have to climb this. Continue. So it's super narrow. I have to pass this this little spot. And finally, here we go. So here is Siri. So it's Brock's brother, and he has his little shop here. It's not much, but you see it's to the left there is a cliff. Yeah. So how did he get there? I don't see any dragon. I don't think he's a magician or anything. Curious, right? Doesn't make much sense. And why would he be here? I guess it's just for you. One of the funny things from this game, as I mentioned before. And this is another location that is very difficult to access. You see, I had to go down the mountain And then you can see a shop here. It's Siri again.
So what brings you around, friends? Well, scrounge around a bit more and we'll build something then.
And on the other way, you go down and you have this super narrow area. So obviously, just like before, how did he manage to get there? There's no room to carry anything. So here I'm gonna access the hub world to move from one world, if I can say so, to another one. I think this is very nice. However, it takes forever. So you see now, I'm waiting so I can see the different world. Muspelheim. And I can move to another one. That's kind of okay here. I mean, okay, that's pretty nice. You see this whole animation, but I think it takes a long time, and there's even more to wait. So the first time I saw that, I found it was extremely nice. Well, I still think it's extremely nice. Now you see these kind of routes that go in one way and then they come another way, but it takes a very long time. And the problem I have with that is that I wish you could fast forward, like press a button and it's already done and you can move forward. That's what I would have done. Well, I don't know what you think about it. You can let me know. Okay, here we have another example of something that is kind of a miss. You have these portals, so it creates a door, and then you pick the location where you want to go on the map. So that is great. I mean, to go from one location to another location without going through the land to access it. And then you're gonna open this door. Come on, here we go. And then you are in this subworld. So basically this is kind of a gigantic circle, and there's nothing in it. As you can see, it's really all the same. So you can go either way, left or right, it doesn't matter. You can walk, you can run, and it's not the distance, it's more like the time. After some time, a door will appear. And the farther two locations are, the longer you have to wait for the door to appear. So here I'm moving, but I could just stay at the same spot and wait until a door appears. Okay, and finally now I arrive at the new location. I think that's totally worthless, this little subworld. It should have been like what it is in 99% of the games that have some doors to access one location to another location. You open one door and then it exits to another door almost immediately, and that's it. I mean, I don't see the point to have this kind of thing. Or at least, if you want to have it, to have an option to kind of skip it, because when you're so much into the game, you want to go to the other location. It's really a waste of time. And believe me, this game you already have enough hours to spend into it. If you want to finish it 100%, so for me that's a miss. Let me know what you think about it.
This way. It'll save time.
So for the weapon, there are two different screens you can get. One is when you're in the shop with Brock or Siri. So it gives you all the different options available to upgrade your weapon, your equipment, if you want to sell something. So right now you see like chest armor if you need to craft anything, and it's the same for all kind of armor, wrist, chest, your your axe, the pommel to your axe. There is so many equipment and options. So you see for Atreus, just look at this. This was just for the axe pommel. For me, that's too much. And in the game, there is not even a manual that helps you to explain to you how it works. There's not even a digital manual. There is nothing. So I definitely think it's a miss. And here we are in the screen, your option screen. Actually, it's where you anywhere in the game, and you can see on the top weapons, and underneath all the different equipment you can get. First, it's the axle, and then the second one is the 2 blades that came from the previous God of War games that you get a little bit later in this game, and then it's Atreus bow, and you can use some runic. First I was like, what is the runic, what does it do? I had no clue until later on in the game when I could try it a little bit, because most of the game when you get a new weapon and you upgrade, you just take by default the one you just managed to get, and you just see the number. You see like 6, strength 85, or it goes up to 8, and on top it usually says what kind of weapon it is, and depending on the name, you're like, okay, the higher the better. Here it was you see 8, and here we go, and you take the one that is the higher and you upgrade. So that's how I did, like basically, like, and I was not thinking too much about it. I was trying to look at the different moves, but that didn't help me too much. So for me it's really confusing. There's really too many of them, of this weapons, equipment, and it's not, you don't need to have a specific one for a specific level, except in the level that has some fog that kill you, this kind of mist, and you have a serious shop just before, and you know that you need some specific equipment to go through this mist without dying too fast. It's in Niflheim. So for me it's a miss. It should have been less weapon and more meaningful to specific area or bosses, and to have a few hints as of which one you should get and use. And for me, to be honest, most of this weapon is just at the end when I wanted to kill all these Valkyries, especially the last one, the Queen Valkyries. I looked on YouTube what people recommend, which equipment, so I understood that I needed to upgrade to a higher level, and a few weapons were better than others, but for me it was not something fun to try to figure out by myself, spend so much time. So that's something that could have been improved, I think. So here we can see the different difficulty levels. There is give me a story, that is like an easy, give me a balance experience, the normal, give me a challenge, hard, and finally give me God of War, very hard. For me, I always play usually easy, so in this case it was give me a story, because obviously I don't have time to grind on a game. I have so many games and I'm not like a teenager with only one game to play all the time. So anyhow, this first boss, this gigantic troll, I thought it was like maybe too hard, especially at the very beginning of the game when you don't know too much the controls, you're not too familiar with it, and I think it was too much to grind right away. I kept being hammered over and over, so it was not that fun. I wished they would have done the difficulty a little bit better, or for example have the boss with less health points, or him being way slower. That would have been better. And talking of boss, you see it was this first troll, and you can see this kind of boss over and over. There's not a lot of variety in this kind of boss. The only thing that they change is the color. So this first one was kind of orange color, And then you have like this one. It was the second boss. So you will see it all the time during this game. Their techniques could be a little bit different, but it's usually pretty much the same. So it's kind of a miss for me. I wish we would have had more bosses, more different bosses. But again, after watching the documentary on this game, I understand that it seems they didn't have enough time to do everything they wanted. That's why we ended up with similar bosses. But at the end, it doesn't really. It's not a big deal for the overall experience. I had a lot of fun in this game, but it's just a little miss, I would say. Something that could have been improved if they had more time. Talking about difficulties, the Valkyries are extremely difficult to beat. And as I said, I was playing in easy. So even in easy, it was not that easy. Especially the very last Valkyrie, that is the Queen Valkyrie. So I had first to look at my equipment to be sure I leveled up enough to have the proper equipment. And as I mentioned before, I looked on YouTube a few techniques from different guys to beat it. And it was a hassle, but I wanted to really kill this last Valkyries because I wanted to finish the game 100%. So here we are, the last Valkyrie. Right away, look at that. You know what's going on, so it's gonna be tough. So as you can see, my gosh, we get parted right away. That's insane. Look at my health. Just in a few seconds, I'm already I was already half of it. And I'm pretty much leveled up here, and I kind of have an idea of what I could do. But when you don't know, like I don't know how many times you need to play this boss. Maybe 100 times before killing it. I don't know, the time to understand the technique and the strategy to kill it. That was tough. And even the previous Valkyries, they were very difficult. There's something I think of it. You do not need to kill any Valkyrie to finish the main story. I think it should have been part of the main story to have some Valkyries to be killed in order to access to the rest of the story, but to do the difficulty level better, as I said before, to have them either slower or to have them with less health points. I think that would have been a plus to include them in this main story, and it would have been a little bit longer to finish the game, because as I said, when you finish the main story without doing any side quest, I could say, you've only done like 30% of the game. That's kind of weird. That's just an idea I have about it. I don't know what you think about it. For me, the things that are not that important, it's all these things that kill all the birds, do all these special move to kill enemies. All this, it doesn't matter. I would say to finish a main story, obviously, it's just to get the game 100%. But the Valkyries, it would have made sense to me to have him in the main story. Something that could have been done better, in my opinion. So to summarize what I just said before, tone down the difficulty, especially for Valkyries. Include these Valkyries fight within the main story. introduce new diverse bosses, have an option to skip the portal world sequence and the hub realm sequence, add living humans here and there and a few villages, add some kind of animals like a dragon maybe, that would be Brock and Sindri's animal to have them carry their shops everywhere, simplify the weapons, armor system and upgrades, and include them as a necessity to progress in the game, and finally improve the map's precision and allow to zoom in more. You see here, it doesn't help much usually, a little bit more precision would be a plus. I want to thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe and share the video if you enjoy the content. In the meantime, have a good one.